The freedom that we have just to live, and no one's coming for us, and no one is going to harm us or hurt us, and we are just safe, and we are equally valued, and the person next to us has equal value, and his friend has equal value, and nobody
Yeah.
is judged for the color of their skin, and there's no issue with what language you speak. It's just everyone is equal, and the freedom and fairness that comes with that.
Yeah. Wow.
Such a blessing.
It is an amazing blessing.
I'm Dr. Chamonix Blanche, ex-corporate and academical turned CEO and board member of several companies and mother of 4 little extraordinary kids. But it wasn't that long ago that I lacked the confidence, the know-how, and the time to focus on designing and really going after the life that I so wanted to live. A life of freedom, of fairness, and of being fair dinkum to who I really was and what I wanted to get out of this fleeting time that we have on Mother Earth. Fast forward to many lessons learned and moving halfway around the world to the most amazing country, you'll see the life that I now live. One that gives me more safety and freedom than I ever thought would be possible, and that really only existed as a daydream while I was living in South Africa. I created Chamonix TV to give you true spot advice on how you can also live a life in this amazing country, and so that you can see how another couple like us now live in Australia with 4 little kids here in Down Under. And I'll be providing you with step-by-step strategies so that you can make your Aussie dream a reality too. If you're a keen future Aussie who's looking to create a life that excites you and offers you safety, freedom, and opportunity, you have come to the right place, my friend. Welcome aboard.
All right. Hi, Kathryn. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from, I want to say sunny Secret Harbour, but it's maybe not so sunny today. It's maybe like, what weather word starts with a stormy?
Yeah, very stormy, very, very windy today, and freezing cold. I don't think I've ever been this cold. We're really adapting and acclimatizing to this weather.
So tell us a little bit about your journey and how long have you been in Australia for?
What are we now? It's still June, right? Yeah. We arrived the 12th of December 2020, where we landed. And then we went straight into hotel quarantine. So we've been here now 6 months. We got out of hotel quarantine the 26th of December. And we've had, so basically 6 months of living in Australia. And it's great. It's life-changing. It's nothing you can really prepare for. The small things are different, which make a big difference, but it's the best thing we've ever done.
So you've settled in, you've found your feet, friends. How many children do you have?
I've got 2. My eldest is 6 years old. He's in year 1. He would have been in grade R in South Africa. But the schooling years are different based on when they start, when they're born. So if you're born in from the 1st of July till the 30th of June, then you go to school in that age group for the year. It's not on a calendar year.
Yes, which I still struggle to get my head around because I'm like, why? Okay, so your 6-year-old is happy in school and enjoying the Australian life?
Loves it. The kids have adapted so well. When we first arrived, the little one would cry and say, I want to get back on the aeroplane. But now that he's got a routine, he's so settled and loves it. And the eldest, now that he goes to school and he's got friends, he's busy, he's occupied. That first bit, when does school start? The middle of February, because there was a lockdown. So for a month and a half, he was kind of following us around the shops and just doing boring adult stuff. And that was a bit hard. But if the kids can get into a routine, perfect.
And what visa did you guys come over with? Because it's an interesting time to be able to come into Australia. So how did you get your exemption?
So I have a critical skill. I came in on a 482 work-sponsored visa. And my employer helped us come through. So
that's great.
That's how you get in during COVID.
And do you mind telling us what occupation you have?
Yeah, I'm a speech and hearing therapist by qualification in South Africa, but in Australia, it's two different qualifications. It's audiology and speech pathology here. So I tried both routes, just like whatever would get me in here. And I got a positive skills assessment easily for audiology, but there was no applications or offers from the Australian government to come in on a skilled visa for audiology. So with speech therapy, as soon as I had my certification, which I actually got today a year ago, 1 week later, as soon as I had my certificate, I was inundated with job offers.
Oh, wow.
Because there's a shortage of speech therapists here.
Yeah, that's job offers without having a visa. That meant that they were all happy to sponsor you over.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. And your husband, obviously, he's working as well, I'm assuming?
Sort of. He's running a handyman business here because by sort of trade, he is a farmer. Because we lived on a farm and we had a farm. And yeah, so we farmed avos and lychees in Tzaneen in South Africa.
Wow, that's a big change. And you're obviously not living on a farm now.
No, we live in suburbia.
Did you work as a speech pathologist in South Africa when you were on the farm?
Yes, I did. I had a private practice and I worked in Mediclinic. I was a medical speech therapist there.
So you just traveled in and out every day? Oh, good. Okay, so you landed here on the 20th. Well, you came out of quarantine on the 26th of December, and then you obviously had a job to go to, so you knew which area you would be living in. Where did you stay for that first little bit between quarantine and getting a house sorted?
Yeah. Well, we have wonderful friends. So we already had some friends that we knew actually from when I was at university, that we'd come and done a look-see in 2019, and we'd stayed with them. And then when we got out of quarantine, they actually gave us their house. They were away on holiday and they said to us, here you go, you guys stay here as long as you need. And we did so until we got a rental.
Wow, how awesome. And that's in the same area than where you are right now?
Yeah, so not far from here.
Well, there's a lot of nice things to do in Secret Harbour. You're by the sea. It's a beautiful ocean and a beautiful area. So have you guys been spending much time at the beach? Obviously not today because it's cold.
Not today, but we do spend time on the weekends with the kids doing activities that are very much family orientated. So they have the most amazing play parks here. Nothing like I've seen before. And we spend the weekends finding trips that we can do as a family. We go either for a drive out into the hills, or we'll try, so we went up to the Bibra Lakes play park. That was pretty impressive.
Just down the road here from me. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. So we just always try out a different thing, and it's usually a family-centered activity. But everything here is geared for children and for everybody to participate in. So it's enjoyable no matter what you do.
Have you guys been okay with settling in with friends and finding your feet socially?
Yeah, that's been probably the easiest and best part of it. Is we found it very easy to make friends and to connect with people. Perth is a very multicultural place. It's really easy to get together with people because everybody's out there doing stuff and activities. So if you're a person that likes to go out and about, no matter what your interest is, there's other people doing similar, and then you just participate and hang out with people and you make friends.
Yeah. And what's the thing that you miss the most about South Africa, except friends and family, because that's always a given?
It's really easy. The clothes and the medicine.
In terms of your work environment, do you find it really, except for the medicine, is it very similar to how you worked in South Africa?
No, it's quite different. I was in a different setting. So I was in an acute care setting, and now I'm in the disability setting. So way at the other end of the spectrum of where you'd go for care. So it's different, but also the funding makes the roles very different. So there's certain things I can do and certain things I can't do based on the source of the funding.
How do you find the disability support from the government?
Well, compared to South Africa, it's phenomenal. And in general, it's an outstanding service. It's amazing that there are such services available. You know, when you think about something like a playground, they actually have swings that would allow any child with any level of need or abilities to participate in playing at the jungle gyms and things like that. But it's different in as much as I find that people don't have as much say in their ideas of where their long-term goals would go, because the government will have a funding model for them that they've researched and they've figured out, and this is good. And then the clients have to know how to work that. So it can be overwhelming because there's actually so much available to them.
Yeah, that's
true.
So
then they get support to help people manage these amazing plans. And with any kind of needs or services, anything is available to any person, which is, to me, absolutely phenomenal that they have provided all of these types of things. It's just an amazing system, and very few people fall through the cracks. So it's really great.
Yes, I've heard from so many other South Africans who've had children diagnosed with things like autism and various kind of disabilities, where they just say the support that they're getting here, they would have never been able to get in South Africa. And even if nothing else worked, just the fact that they're getting that kind of support here in Australia makes it all the while worth it for them to be here.
And the support is so good, it can actually be overwhelming. And that's where people actually don't know how to manage all the services they have. But then they can get plan managers in and things like that to help them. So there's help when you get help, which is just, it's like a concept that we don't have.
If there's one thing that you could change here, what would you do?
Oh gosh, I actually haven't even thought about that. We're so happy and contented, you know, just with how things are. I actually don't know. Australia is great.
What is the best thing for you about living in Australia?
The freedom that we have just to live, and no one's coming for us, and no one is going to harm us or hurt us, and we are just safe, and we are equally valued, and the person next to us has equal value, and his friend has equal value, and nobody is judged for the color of their skin, and there's no issue with what language you speak. It's just everyone is equal, and the freedom and fairness that comes with that.
Yeah, wow.
It's such a blessing.
It is an amazing blessing. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and just giving that bit of encouragement to people who've never been here and have no idea of what to expect. And, you know, hearing that even like your situation where your husband was a farmer, even though he has left his traditional occupation, his previous occupation, that you could still come to Australia and make a new life and maybe temporarily do something else in the meantime, which also opens doors for you to experience things that you would not have done otherwise, and being open for that and just embracing the process, because it is a big adaptation, and it is I want to say a culture shock, maybe not a culture shock, but it's different. There are things that are different, but you can make it work. So well done, good on you for taking the leap.
Because it's just such a wonderful place to live, and the people are very kind and welcoming. That was our experience.
Well, that's awesome. Well, that's been my experience too. So thank you for joining us on this wonderful island and making your mark and helping the Australians with such an important skill that you have brought, because you're in desperate need here. And I know I've got 2 boys who need some speech therapy, and you know, I'll be reaching out to a speech therapist soon. So, so thanks for coming, because you're going to make it just that little bit easier for me to also get in and see somebody.
For sure.
Take care, Kathryn, and thanks again for having a chat.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you had fun, please remember to hit that subscribe button, and then it'll make sure that you never miss a thing. I'll see you same time and same place next week. Bye for now.